you go.
Now, in case everybody was wondering, you all know this meeting is being recorded. Which
look, there we are with my shades on.
It only records our part, so it's not going to like keep track of all of your comments.
Yeah, it's
Facebook does that.
The video. Yeah, that's just a video. I have to fix my hair later on in a second. Anyways,
you're having a moment.
Having a moment.
I'm eating a jelly bean.
I'm having a moment. How was your day of Ostera so far, or your day of what's the other goddess? The German
Ishtar. Ostara and Ishtar.
Ishtar, yes. Happy day of fertility.
Happy day of baby Jesus.
Happy day of fertility.
I heard that he was brought in a baby Easter bunny egg. Welcome to Ice Cream Sundays. My name is Rose.
Welcome. Stop it. Don't call me.
My name is Rose with Love by Design, and I am basically bound and determined in the world to help all of you raise your low bars and find and figure out how to find the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, your ride or die. And you know, some people, maybe they're not rest of your lifer kind of people. Maybe you just want like a series of 4 and 5 year relationships. That's fine too. I will help you find that next amazing 4 to 5 year adventure buddy. So my specialty is working with people on their intimate relationships, finding new love, finding your ride or die. This is my incredible wife, Marita Esteva.
Having technical issues right now.
Who's having technical issues. Her incredible business is The Path of Ish, and she is
Thanks for sharing.
Hi, Tonya. Hi, Jonna.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, we love people who share. Please share.
Who else is watching?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out.
We'll catch up with you in a second. So, today, what did we do so far? We had an amazing bath.
It was beautiful.
I'm like super into, I don't know if any of you guys are. Please, if you are, share in the comments. Say hello. Give us some hearts. Give us some ha-has, whatever you want. Tell us jokes. We like that too. If you want, in the comments, tell us your favorite jokes. We had this amazing bath this morning. One of the ways that we connect, actually, we'll get to the show in a second. One of the ways that we connect is actually we make sure to make time to have baths with each other. We have a really beautiful large bathtub. And so we will pour a bath, and usually we'll do like Epsom salt. Today we did Atlas cedar, rose oil, and then fresh rose petals. And of course, the hilarious thing is, as soon as I started putting the rose petals in on top of my wife, who's already in there, she's like, so are you going to clean this out afterwards? I feel like our relationship has this amazing healthy dose of like super romantic and spiritual, and then also like sarcastic realism, you know? So, Ice Cream Sundays. Welcome. Many of you, this is not your first time here. Some of you it might be.
Thank you for returning.
Thank you for coming back after our Game of Thrones shenanigans last week.
That's so funny.
We keep watching it and laughing at how ridiculous we are.
Rosy Pops. Yeah, let's talk about Rosy Pops.
We will. So
thank you, Amanda. New Zealand, Jane. We also do another show in New Zealand later on. Good to see you. Tonya, always. Cindy, hello. So, for those of you who are new, let me just tell you a little bit about what this show is. This show came to my amazing wife in a dream. And I was like this, and I was like this. I was like,
all her dreams have soundtracks just like that.
Exactly.
Too. There's like drums and like Foley. And it's a kind of a combination of our 2 different special expertises and businesses together. We both have done a lot of spiritual work. I know we have quite a few. And then we do single card readings on a topic of your choice. We do ice cream chakra clearings, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a moment. And we sprinkle lovingly throughout
relationship advice,
Mhm.
because we can all use help in our relationships, no matter how magical we are. And then the last thing we do is we actually make Rosy Pops, which are
Rosy Pops.
they're the ice cream to our sundae, basically.
Oh,
So
I like that. That was a good one.
yeah, I know. Thank
What
you.
is Rosy Pops? Rosy Pops is on an interesting adventure right now because
It's growing.
It's growing. So we are trying to make this not just popsicles that Rose and I get to enjoy on Sundays, and we'll bring it out of flavor.
We got quite a few right now.
We got quite a few. Why do we make these Rosy Pops? They're called Rosy Pops after Rose, who loves them. But our tagline is pure love. Rosy Pops, pure love. Do you like that? Give us a like if you do. Why? Because they all have rose essence. So these are holistic popsicles. They're really kind of intentionality. We're trying to put out love out there and bring the world a little bit of love in each popsicle.
And part of that is because we pour our love into the popsicles when we make them. We are ride or die with each other.
We are ride or die. So these popsicles are holistic. They, if they have rosemary, we talk about the rosemary. We talk about how, it's good for your chakras. So we're making chakra pops to align your chakras. And since we're talking about aligning the chakras, let's talk about what Ice Cream Sunday is all about and this magical idea that I came up with that, Spirit kind of put into my brain. And my wife jumped on a ride or die interesting
roller coaster ride.
So what do? Ice cream chakra clearings. That means instead of using colors, lights, or sound, we use memory. We use your olfactory memory and your gustatory memory, right? Smell and taste. We're able to use those flavors to tap into deeper healing sometimes. Is it better? Whatever you want. Any way is good, right? Any kind of healing is good, especially if you're ready and present to receive it. It's so funny. We were over in, where was that, little Fairfax? Hippie town that I love. And there's literally like a crystal shop, 3 crystal shops in a row, like one after another, and a different kind of variations. They have their flavor, so there can be one more than one crystal shop on a row. Trust me. If you don't believe it, come to Fairfax.
Mm-hmm.
But the woman there she was asking me what I do, and I was telling her kind of my lineage of shamanic healing and holding the medicine of the Hopi and stuff like that. And she's like, "Oh my God, can you heal me?" And I said, "Do you want to be healed?" And that's another thing, do you want to be healed? A lot of people come for healing and ask for healing, but they don't really want to change. They just want to put a little Band-Aid on something, which is sometimes, all that we can handle at that time.
Coping is okay sometimes.
Yeah, coping is okay. We're not saying that it's bad. If you want to be healed and if you want some really deep work, check out the path of Ish, the path of radical, unconditional self-love. And that is a path that I take you on to find that.
So how did you get to radical, unconditional self-love?
I cry a lot. And I got a lot of help. I got a lot of help. I got a lot of help.
I'm like jealous of how much you cry.
Yeah.
I'm 100% jealous of how much you cry.
And I had to get to that point, right? To be able to cry that way, to be that open, with myself. And it took years and years and years of mentorship, years of working with teachers, years of doing a lot of deep work, a lot of money spent, best money of my life spent because it was for my life, right? So it's taken a long time, and it's deep work, and I like things fast too. So, classes or one-on-one sessions that I'd have with people, I'd be like, that would supposed to take 3 months. I'd be like, let's just do it in 2 weeks, So I'm kind of like crazy hardcore like that. But
I just read Jana's joke.
I know, it's hilarious.
I like that. Thank you. Thanks for giving us a joke. That's amazing.
Hilarious. But anyways, deep healing, and it's still on the path. I'm really excited. I'm going to be joining Ingrid Turner and the Baba Mission and becoming a pastor, certified pastor. So tapping into a different community as well. So we got a few things cooking, but let's start with today. So how do you get a reading?
I got a few people already.
Wow, okay.
So Marita will keep a list of people. We try to take people in order. So let us know if you want a single card reading, an ice cream chakra clearing, which is delicious. Not only does it tap into, like you were saying, memory and your taste and your smell, but the piece that's also really powerful about it is when we're thinking about shifting the energy in our bodies and healing our bodies, a really amazing doorway into that, into feeling things in our body is, of course, our emotions, right? And our emotions are also what are tied up with taste,
energy,
and smell.
And motion. Emotions are energy and motion.
Wow. Emotion.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like a car or something. Emotion.
Emotion.
So she's going to take a list of names for either ice cream chakra clearing or a single card reading. Let us know a topic that you are interested in having guidance around. If you don't give us a topic, you can see general reading, but you may just get a really general answer. I think that if you, I'd really encourage you to like push yourself a little bit and ask something specific. You know, it's good to ask the universe good questions. Get better questions. So, Marita will be taking names. We may not get to everybody on the list, but one thing that we are doing up until the end of April, right? Our special?
Yes.
So because we usually don't get to everybody, we're doing a super, super special until the end of April for folks who maybe don't get on the list today. We're doing a really, really amazing deal, a $35 reading. We're just going to send it to you. It won't be like a live video reading, but we will send it to you, and that means you can read it whenever you want and you can ask us questions about it. So if you're interested in that, please comment. What do you want people to comment for that?
I don't know. I can't think right now.
Hashtag April Flowers.
I like it.
Hashtag April Flowers. If you want to get information about our special $35 reading till the end of the month of April. Okay? So
one other thing that we need, because
yes.
I already started to writing these down. So
permission.
Cindy, thank you, telling us what you really want. Most important part of this, and I know you're already asking for, so you're giving us permission, but we just want it to be doubly, triply sure. We're very, very, very about boundaries and intentionality and consent. We're big into consent.
I'm thinking about what you're saying yes to, you know?
Yeah, because sometimes you can be like, hey, yeah, I want that. And they're like, no. So we need consent. So how does that come? So please say permission in the comments.
Not just in your mind.
Not just but and the last thing is must be present to win. So if I call, I try to give you 3 chances. Can you tell that I was not born in the United States? Americans go like this. Anyways, awesome. 3 if you're not here, we move on to the second person. So let me read. I'm going to read to you, and I'm usually, if you see me with my head down, it's not just because I'm meditating, it's I'm trying to keep up with everyone.
She's got a complex system of levers and pulleys right here.
I know. I'm the...
She's like the wizard behind the curtain.
Jonah. I love you, Jonah. Yes.
Her name is Jonah.
Jonna. I always say it wrong. So we need permission. So Cindy, you've given us permission.
Yay,
Tonya,
Cindy!
you've given us permission. Jonah, you've given us permission. I always know that. Dan, thank you for your permission. You want a reading on if we should move back to the use us. And
Tonya, we were just talking about you today and your lovely,
Jacqueline,
amazing
cool.
beautifulness.
Thank you for the permission.
As a human.
Amanda Jane, I have to push you down.
Okay, that's probably the list, right?
Okay, and Kat Johnson. I'm looking for Kat Johnson. If you're still, there. Okay, Kat, you're the first one, Kat. So you haven't said okay, thanks. Any direction?
She said, right? Love.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Okay.
Love.
Thanks.
And
so,
what does that say?
Or career.
Love or career.
Got it. You're first. So, Kat Johnson, this card is for you. Next up is Jacqueline and then Cindy on deck. 2 on decks, right? Ooh, good. She's excited. We don't do a drum roll, but we do have the tiniest little Tibetan bowl.
It's so cute. I looked for one of these for ages for just the right. It's very, it has a very high, clear sound. It's like if you put it by your ear, it's like, wake up, the sun is up, oh my God.
Up, it's the sun, the sunshine. Ooh, the sunshine.
I have a remix on that on one of my mixes right now. my little Spotify mixes.
So we have switched card decks. So we go through a card deck, we use it for a while, and then we kind of move it over. So this is a new card deck for us. This is Rumi, an amazing poet, right?
Yes. Are you asking me?
I'm just saying.
Yes.
Okay. So my friend Kat Johnson, you wanted a card on love/career. And you got a very beautiful card. Now these cards are I'm going to hold it up in a second, but they're kind of hard to see because they're, oh God, there it is. Blessings of Zara. Can you see that? They're very painterly.
You can even here. This is what I do.
Oh.
Just make it.
She's so much better at some things, you know?
Think about how small the screen is on people's phones and things. So it's good to like just give them a close up at first, and then
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there we go. Blessings of Zara. God, I love the blue and green. I love blue and green. Blue and green for me are huge. They're like the colors of my life, you know? And we are in this time of, you know, letting things in. As you can see, she's opening up her heart chakra, right? And letting kind of all of that light come in, you know? So are you making sure that, you know, what I said in the beginning of the show is, are you ready to be healed? Are you ready? So many times we say we are, but how many times do we get our own way, right? You know, we talk about it as self-sabotage. You know, sometimes you can even look at it as, you know, what are all the things in your basket? You know, I do this meditation in the morning where I decide what I want to take with me into my day. And it's a great meditation to do. And it's almost, if you think of like putting things in a little basket, what am I going to carry for you? So today this card is talking about.
So this card, this is a really amazing card. It's interesting that you asked about career and love, because I was like, are we going to find a card that is about both? But actually this card really could be applied to both areas of your life, because what this card is saying is, and of course some of this is interpretation, right? So much of reading cards is interpretation. This card is talking about how in our souls, in our love lives, in our careers, we can get used to eating whatever is available to us, you know, consuming whatever is readily available, right? So for example, if you are really hungry and you don't have any food in your car and you're just like, oh, I'm just going to pull over and get French fries. Or what happens to me more often usually is like, I'm just going to stop and get pizza because I'm like, I want pizza. This card is telling you that you have to stop eating, you have to stop feeding junk into your life. Stop feeding your heart, stop feeding your career, stop feeding your love life with junk food. You don't need a sweet talker. You know, you don't need somebody that's going to be good for a second, but really like shitty in the long run. You need somebody that's like the real deal. And that is all that your life needs right now. It doesn't need any crap. It's basically talking about how you have been kind of going through this detox process where you're like shedding old stuff. I don't know if you've experienced this, but when I become stricter in my habits and I'm kind of pulling things out, like, you know, the food example is what the card uses, but you can talk about it in terms of people too, right? Or good habits, bad habits, things that impact you well or not. Sometimes when I go through the period of detox, then when I like try to go back and eat junk food, my body's like, it rejects it. It makes me feel sick. I don't like the taste as much. I'm just like, what is this garbage, you know? And that's kind of the stage that you're at in terms of maybe your love life and your career. It's encouraging you. Don't just take what's in front of you. You need to wait for the real thing. You need to seek out the real thing, you know? Do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, I'm just responding to people.
Oh, okay. Let me know if you have any questions about that or if that makes sense. But yeah, I think that many of us can probably relate to getting involved with people who we know are kind of like not really good for us in the long run, but are kind of like candy, kind of tastes pretty good. It's yummy, doesn't really fill you up in your soul, but it's kind of fun for a while. Well, don't do that right now. You don't need that right now. You need like the real, beautiful, delicious, nourishing things for your soul, for your...
Don't make excuses. Stop making excuses.
Yeah.
Stop carrying other people's crap. Stop making, it's funny. I got into a quick WhatsApp talk with my sister, and I was like, look, you need to get to the point where you're okay with
I'm like candy.
the boundaries that you have and the person that you're becoming, and you have to be okay if that person can't continue that journey with you. And you have to stop bending over backwards and being like, well, that's okay if they don't meet me here. That's okay if they don't meet me here. Well, that I can live with this amount of love because I have so much of it. No. It has to be balanced. So no more fast food love.
No more fast food
Get
love.
the real stuff. Get pure love with Rosie Pops.
Puree love, as you said.
I know,
yesterday.
puree love. Okay.
Thank you, Kat.
Thank
I
you,
hope that was
Kat.
helpful for you.
Awesome. Yeah,
God,
yeah.
I could relate to so many parts of that message in that card. I was like,
Too legit to quit. Just
know too well. I know too well.
Yeah. Jonna, yeah, I see it. Okay, thank you, Kat.
Thanks, Kat. We're going to disconnect.
We've got Jacqueline Carbonelli. Thank you, Brienne. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody who's joined us so far.
Yeah, Kat.
Happy Easter.
Radical self-love, Kat Johnson. Radical self-love that is unconditional. Check out the Path of Ish. You can private message me. Also, if you want more time, we are offering readings, one card readings, $35. We just email it to you or Facebook message it to you, so
easy
peasy, right? So if you don't get one today, or even if you do get one today and you're like, I kind of want to dig in a little bit deeper, we do offer these very affordable.
I know.
So affordable. For $35, I think I can buy a vegan hamburger in California. That's about it. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, no, probably, because then fries would be separate.
The fries would be
separate. They wouldn't be included.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably get...
And a glass of wine.
I could get oh, no, I don't know. That might be pushing it. Well, I don't know. I could get...
You're good at finding bargain wine.
Yeah,
That's delicious.
about it.
You have a lot of knowledge.
Okay.
It makes me sound so bougie when we're saying this. It's terrible. All right.
Okay.
Jacqueline reading.
Yeah.
What is it about?
She wants to know if she's getting a job because she wants to buy a home. So this is really interesting.
What number is it?
35.
Oh,
so Jacqueline, here you are.
Oh, there it is.
So the first thing that comes, this is a beautiful card. Look, the lover and the beloved.
Mm.
And when you ask this question, the first thing that I felt, and the first thing that I really felt Spirit wanted to ask you is, why? A new job, more money equals a home, but is that going to satisfy you? I think there's something deeper here. And what I'm really sensing is sense of security, and there are great things. Jobs can give us sense of security sometimes, and achievement and accomplishments. Owning your own home can give you that as well to a certain degree, but sometimes then these things own us. Are you getting into relationships where you're being owned? You're giving away your power sometimes for this idea that you think safety means, when in the end, life can change like that. So I just want to put that out there as we kind of really start getting it more into that card, because I think today really the conversation is about radical self, unconditional love. And this is the lover and the beloved. And sometimes it comes from another person. Sometimes it comes from you. So can you enlighten us a little bit more, my friend, my friend?
It's interesting because when you're talking about this idea of security, this card is a lot about surrendering to, Rumi was Sufi, as far as I recall, the poetry is Sufi. So it talks a lot about the beloved as this, speaks about God and spirit as the beloved.
And this card is talking about surrendering yourself to the beloved, basically saying, it's not enough that you love me. You have to let me love you back. You know, you have to receive. You have to allow the universe to love you back and support you and believe that there is something good out there for you, because it's going to help you not live in a constant place of fear. And it's going to allow you to be more present to the experience of life instead of being only goal oriented, which is something that I've been struggling with over the past, now that I'm saying that, how many years has it even been? I don't even know. I think I got pretty lost in being goal oriented in a way, because the demands of life I feel are always pushing me. And I just to keep up, I feel like I have to like push to the next goal kind of to survive. But I remember somebody talking about how it was almost like being a soldier that just has to keep marching forward, because there's no alternative. Like, that is the attitude that I started taking. And actually over the past few months, I've really been, sometimes to the detriment, great detriment actually, of my own business, but I won't go deep into that conversation because there's context there. I've been slowing way down. I've been trying to remember to take pleasure in things and figure out, you know, bring some enjoyment back into my life that's just for the purpose of enjoyment and exploration and fun and beauty and sweetness, you know. You know, this card is really about how we sort of resist we resist trusting that the universe will provide for us, that we will connect with the divine in life, that things will turn out how they're supposed to, because of the pain that we've experienced in being burned, let down, betrayed, screwed over, you know, maybe losing our security, right? When we lost jobs, when we lost homes, when, you know, we were just talking about this morning, you know, how quickly your life can change. You know, we've had massive wildfires here. People's homes were gone. Their lives were run in an instant, right? So sometimes it's hard to trust again in sort of the natural unfolding of life because we've been burned so badly. This card is kind of giving you the same message that I got a couple months ago, which is, you have to bring some physical sustenance into your life to really bring you back to feeling like life is this magical gift. You know, life is this beautiful, surprising, divine gift, you know. And I think that in an interesting way, even though I tend to think of this as sort of a more, you know, it's a different way to get to your goals, but it's still going to help you move towards your goals, even though it's not as obvious. You know, when you take care of yourself in that way, when you connect to the physical experience of taking a beautiful bubble bath and taking the time to put rose petals in it, of going to a flamenco dance class, of, you know, buying yourself your favorite perfume, of, I don't know, going to a batting cage and hitting baseballs, like whatever it is that brings you joy, that's very physical, that connects you to the physical experience of being human, it's actually going to help you connect to those goals that you're trying to achieve, getting a job, getting a house, doing all these very like practical goal-oriented things. I don't know that this is exactly the answer you were looking for, but I think it's pretty clearly telling you, instead of focusing on whether you're going to get a job and whether you're going to get a house, you need to spend some time on yourself.
Yeah, that's totally what I got too.
And loving yourself and letting the love of the universe pour into you so you can build some like trust in the world up again right there. And that's going to help you ultimately get to those goals, even if it seems like it's not as a direct route. Work slow, work fast.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you. We're going to disconnect. All right. Thank you, Jacqueline. Jacqueline. Let us.
So Justin Snow, we take everything in order. We don't ask for money. So if you're feeling angry and this is something that you've you know, if you don't feel safe with that, we literally have a list of 20 people and we try to take our pace. We're not going to get to 20 people. We do a final card and clearing at the end. Okay. If you want to stay for that, you can stay.
Scam for donations. You know, it's interesting.
Hi, Bonnie.
Yes,
Justin, they're free. Oh, thanks. Jonah's on it. Jonah, you're going to get a double free one. I love people.
it's interesting, you know, we actually have a conversation quite a lot on this show. Well, not on the show, but off the show. We talk a lot about...
We got a few fun... let me just deal with some trollers here. There we go. Okay.
We talk a lot about why we do this show. You know, we do this live and we do another live in the evenings on Sundays every week, except for, you know, we take a couple weeks off here and there, but we've been doing it basically since July or something last year. And we give a lot of free time on these shows, you know, but it's funny that people think that we're doing it as a scam, because actually this show has not developed, it's developed very little revenue for us. We have made only I think I could probably count on
one hand.
Yeah, one hand the number of people I've worked with for one very short sessions after this show. We really do this show to connect to community and to bring an offering and to laugh and to see, you know, who shows up and how it resonates and to see how y'all are doing. So,
and again, sometimes I don't get comments. Sometimes I get, and if you're commenting from a group that's something and I don't see it, then that means I'm going to get to you when I can. So we do our best. We do our best, everyone.
Okay. Plus, I love the questions that people ask here, because
okay, let's just,
you know, you're opening up by coming here and asking us your questions. Not only are you opening yourself up for help, for insight, for the universe to like work through whoever is offering to give you the messages you need to hear, but you also open up this amazing conversation for other people to be a part of. You know, we can impact each other so much by these conversations. When we talked to this first person, Kat, I had so many memories of perfect examples of when I was filling my love life with junk food, you know, with junk food people, basically. You know,
thanks for all the support. We're getting a lot of good support.
Yay!
Yes, you know, we don't get a lot of trollers. Once in a while we do.
I know, we really don't.
So we're very blessed with that.
We really don't. I know, I feel grateful for that too, because sometimes it gets me, I just have to like refocus myself a little bit. Anyway.
So yeah, we're going to just burn a little Palo Santo here.
Burn, baby, burn.
Clear the energy. We did kind of come in hot. Yeah. So.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot.
I know. We just.
Thanks, Dan. Yes. Sending out a love. That's what we're here to do.
Okay.
So let's do our reading for Cindy. And then Tanya.
Did she give us a,
yes, job versus passion. So
passion project, Cindy.
So
yes, I feel you.
Oh, Dan. Dan, thank you for sharing. You know,
the amazing thing is too, is when we do have trollers, everybody else that's watching and like commenting is so supportive and so like, oh no, like this is not going to happen right now. It's almost like we get this opportunity to have our community be more connected to us because these people don't stand a chance against y'all, which is amazing. Okay. Cindy.
Okay, Cindy.
Magical Cindy.
So Cindy, I love that you're asking about this.
So much.
Hi, Ernie. I know your name's not Ernie. I have to come up with
it doesn't start with an I or something?
I don't know. People keep asking about a couch. I have no idea what's going on. There seems to be
couch?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's a
yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's a euphemism that I'm like not familiar with.
Yeah.
I probably need to be educated.
Yeah, a lot of people are coming up. Yeah.
Couch, 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 couch. We should Google this. Google the
Yeah,
euphemism.
I don't
Let's
know.
do it.
No, it's just things.
No, we're gonna focus on you right now.
We're going to
Cindy.
focus on you, Cindy. So, Cindy, I love that you asked this question because this is something that,
Let's do
you know,
another.
Rose and I,
Come on, slow down.
Simon, that's it. Thanks, Simon. Okay, here we go. Got my drum.
I should bring that eye in, huh?
Yeah. So, Cindy, we're going to pull a card for you. And I'm really excited that you asked this question. This question of, do I stay in my job or do I do this passion project? And it's something that I ask myself all the time, you know? And the card that you got is the right choice. So look at this card from Rumi, the right choice. So what is the right choice? The right choice, Cindy, is the one where you feel the most whole. Now, let me give you what I'm trying to say is it's really easy to look at a job that gives you money and be like, well, but I have no passion in it, right? I have nothing. You can just look at it as a way that the universe is providing you that money, right? Sometimes we don't have to quit our jobs. We don't have to let go of money. Now, Rose and I are a little crazy, and we were like, I'm literally trying to start like 3 businesses and having a full-time job, you know, on the side, right? And I give each
full-time job on the side.
Full-time job. That's not my
That's how it seems sometimes.
My full-time job takes a lot of my energy, and I give it a lot of my energy. But I think you have to get to the point where you can really see the benefits of both and use them because they're different channels. It's almost like when you're starting, you know, when you're marketing, or I know you're all into community building, right? And you're doing a lot of Facebook lives and stuff like that. Well, then there's also then the Instagram post, right? And then there's the Facebook this. You know, there's different channels of opportunities, and each channel meets an audience and meets you in a way that you can fill yourself up. So that's the question, right? If you're in a job that's abusive and things like that, then, you know, that's a completely different conversation right now. But this really, the conversation is, it's really easy to look at your quote unquote 9-to-5 job and see that there's no worth. And actually it's a gift that the universe has given to you. So that if you feel like I can like literally like do this job and I can sleep through it, and I know I'm at that point, and I figured this job out and there's no room for me to grow here, then it's okay that things are easy. Just do what needs to happen. We have to get out of the mentality that we have to work hard for things. That's a very American thing. Do what's needed, pay attention to what's needed, and then your passion can go for other things, right? You know, we're in an age and an era where, you know, we have angel investors sometimes, but they're angels, right? We have to find them. And we have to be our own supporters sometimes in our dreams. And you can see that, if you can see that as a channel of the universe supporting you, providing you the money that you need as you start building the next thing. I don't think it's a make or break it right now. I think it just go slow. And it's something that I'm learning a lot, like go slow. How does this feel? How does this decision feel in my body when I say, I'm going to do this Facebook Live? Do I feel excited about it? Do I feel nervous? Why are people asking about couches right now? I have no idea. But go slow and make sure that you are taking time for all those little minutes, so you can be grateful. And gratitude can sometimes lift the cloud that we're in. When we can see things as roadblocks, they become openings and doorways, you know. I love the job that I have currently, you know, the one that pays me money, and it opens my door in so many ways to have conversations with people that I might never have had, to travel to places I would have never might traveled had I not had to go there. So look at the opportunities. Don't look at them like, this is in my way, right? Anything else you want to add? Oh, the card says the right choice, by the way.
Yeah. So the hilarious thing about this card, it's like literally the perfect card when you're like, oh, I'm weighing, you know, my heart, my passion versus like this job, right? And I know that none of your jobs are exactly 9 to 5s. Like, I understand that. But this card is telling you, like, you already know, Cindy, you have to follow your heart. You know, there's certain questions that we can't think our way through. You know, we just, our minds are great. They're powerful. You know, they're so good at what they do, but you can't think your way through certain questions. You have to feel it with your heart. Because if you are making decisions based on your thoughts, if you're making decisions based on whether the path that you're on looks right to other people or looks similar to other people's paths, then it's not going to be the right path for you. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those cards. The reason I love this card and that you got this card, Cindy, is because there's some cards that when you get them, there's a lot more like interpretation. And this one is basically saying, like, girl, you know, you have to follow your heart. You have to do your passion project. The means that you get there, it may not be quit your job and then only do the passion project. I don't know. It didn't really say that. But the thing that it did say was you have to do your passion project. You have to. You're going to poison your soul if you don't do your passion project. If your passion project is where your heart is leading you, because that's the main thing, that you have to listen to your heart. And sometimes if you've been personally, when I've been caught up in a space where I'm kind of like, but should I do, but what about this on the other hand? But what about this? Oh, it's not really starting. I keep on trying and I just kind of go back and forth for too long. I get a little bit disconnected from my heart and listening to what my body and my heart are telling me. And I have to slow way down and get really quiet and get very grounded and get into my body and allow there to be some time where I'm not trying to make a decision. And usually I'll find that it'll emerge, you know, my heart will start speaking to me again. I wanted to read you a short piece of this because it's perfect, you know. I don't usually read directly from the book, but I want you to hear how it's written because I feel like it's very clear. It says, it's said that that one man's meat is another man's poison. To base your choices on what others have chosen for themselves may end up killing you. Better to take your risks on the angel of your own heart. It's funny that you said angel investors.
Angel, yeah.
Wise as that being is, that's your heart, that's so wise, and dance to your own heart rhythm instead. There may be fear if others seem to be dancing different steps, but beloved, you know that is just because every heart has its own unique rhythm, and yours doesn't want to waltz so much as tango. So why not allow it to be thus without fear or doubt? This oracle comes with a message for you. In your heart, you know, Cindy, in your heart, you know what holds meaning for you. You may or may not have a grand vision to go along with that meaning as yet, but I have a feeling you have some grand vision. But deep within, you know what is without value and what holds value for you, which is not for other people, for you, right? And so much of that is about the presence and the physical practice and the embodied practices that you've already been developing for so long, Cindy. You were born with those values intact in your heart, and whatever confusion has arisen for you along the way is just where the values of others have transfused into your own blood. You know, the world comes along and impacts you, right? But there's this truth that's been alive, like on fire inside of you since the day you were born. That's what this card is telling you. It's time for a transfusion of holy light into that blood to be cleansed and purified, restored to its integrity, and filled with passion for what is rightfully yours, your unique passion and purpose. If you have been concerned about your path and what steps to take next, this oracle comes as an omen of good things headed your way. Clarity, reassurance, truth, and revelation.
Don't hold on to a belief system or vision if it appears to be tossed on its head. Let things go the way they will, and good fortune will prevail for you. That vision might actually have been upside down all the time and suddenly able to right itself and be born for you if allowed to topple.
That's why I'm learning how to do handstands.
Trust that if you are being drawn away from a tantalizing sweet shop, there is more delicious array of confection just around the corner for you. So yes, have your tantrum if you must. Wow. Have your tantrum if you must, but you will be sheepish soon when you realize the hand of the great beloved that removes is the same hand that bestows even greater gifts. So
there you go, Cindy.
Follow your heart, honey. And sometimes even when, you know, your vision or the journey kind of gets like, just like thrown to shit, it doesn't mean that you are not going to continue moving towards that passion project.
It's refining, right? And
well,
okay, whatever.
Okay, no, go ahead.
No, that's okay.
No?
No, what I'm saying is...
we have moments.
We have moments.
We don't always agree.
If it goes to shit, right? What I'm saying is you have to refine. You have to be refined, right? Because you're thinking, like you said, you said, we've already gone over your time, you're learning how to trust yourself. Yeah. That means the tools that you have right now aren't the ones that are going to get you to where you need. You're refining those tools. And as you trust yourself, more and more new tools, new ways of creating and being will be revealed to you as you work more, because you're creating in a different way. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
That's all. Okay.
We each have our own interpretations.
Yeah.
This is the magic of having two people.
Yeah.
We have such different, we channel such different things, you know?
Yeah.
You say refine. In my mind, I'm thinking literally sometimes things just have to look like they're going to total crap and chaos and be totally toppled. And then suddenly, it's like if you've ever gone hiking and you get lost, and then you end up magically like in this even better spot on the trail.
Oh,
but
yeah.
You think you're like in chaos, you're lost, a storm is coming, you're like, holy crap. How did this day go so wrong? You're out of water, whatever, right? And then suddenly you're like, oh my God, here we are, like right by the beginning of the trail. It's incredible.
Right. We just went round and round. Okay,
Hiking
well, thank you so much.
Fun, by the way.
Thank you so much. Again, everyone who's joining kind of new, we are kind of ending our time. We're going to do 2 more card readings, and then we do a final carding clearing for everyone, okay? Again, all of these are free. We do once in a while offerings at a really reasonable cost. We're doing an offering right now to the end of this month just to kind of waken up, since we are turning to the east, which in the Hopi tradition, native tradition, is the time for spring. And it's, if you're interested, what are they hashtagging?
Hashtag April Flowers.
Hashtag April Flowers. The readings for $35. Which is really reasonable. We'll PM you, we'll set you up, and we can do it via Facebook Messenger or email you, and that way you can listen to it on your own time. We're not trying to juggle schedules. So, okay. Yeah, Jewel.
Thank you, Cindy.
Jewel, come join us next week. We do another one in a couple of hours in Kairua for that amazing group. We do this every Sunday. We start at 3 p.m. San Francisco time. We keep a list. We check it twice. I make sure you're here. Don't worry, you don't know who's here, but there you go. And we go down it, and we take our time.
Thank you so much for joining us,
Cindy.
Thank you. It was super sweet to have you here. And I hope it helps you, and I hope you find that revelation soon.
Okay, Tonya, here we go. And then Dan, you'll be our last one. Again, if we didn't reach you, I'm so sorry. Again, this list kind of fills up pretty quickly. This is our method that we've been using and being pretty successful so far. We might change it in the past, but we'll go with the flow, right? Why reinvent things? We haven't done a chakra clearing today, which really kind of makes me sad. This is really the only place where you can get an ice cream chakra clearing. It's trademarketed by the Path of Ish, which is what I run, which is the path of radical, unconditional self-love and getting to that point, refining that tool, just like Cindy was saying, you know, I'm learning to have intuition. That is what I work with on an individual level, creating that new path, right? There's not one way to live this life. There's your way, and we figure that out together. If you want love and relationship advice,
that's me.
Right? She's doing an hour power pretty soon, and we'll talk about that. And we have to figure out, we'll have to figure out what Rosie Pop we taste at the end. So we are making popsicles.
Which one do you want to try?
I don't know. That our tagline now, as we keep developing this brand, is pure love.
Pure love. Puree love.
I still love that.
I know. So here we go. Tonya, Tonya, Tonya. Thanks, Nicole.
I'm pretty sure all these references to couch have to do with people wanting to see our which is so random to me.
No, someone actually posted a thing for couch.
What
Selling
thing?
a couch. I think two things were happening. And someone actually jumped on the group and posted it.
That's so random.
Tonya, here you go, Tonya.
What does it say? I can't see.
Number 1, Beyond Death and Life.
Tonya.
Hopefully you're watching, Tonya. You're usually pretty good at this.
Somebody was selling a couch. What the heck?
I know.
I don't know about that. Because couch is a word for...
There you go. Well, I was blocking those people. So Tonya, life and death, beyond death and life. Tonya, I know you very well.
She asked about something specific?
No, she is all light. I like it. So Tonya, this is it. You have been going through the dark night of my soul, my friend. And here's your promise of beyond that, all your trials and your tribulations that you have been facing. You know, and what you can kind of see this, Tonya, and Tonya's a painter, and it shows even better on the reflection. Like you can see all those like beautiful stars and everything like that, but there's shadows here of people too, right? We're never alone in the dark, you know? We can call on our friends, our ancestors for guidance, depending what you believe in. There's always help. You know, there's always help. And so even in these dark times that you've been in, Tonya, you've never been alone. You've never been alone. And I just want you to listen to that and really let it sink into your body. And I think you know it sometimes here and sometimes here, but in all parts of your body, know that you're never alone. Anything else?
Yeah, I mean, we think about this life beyond death, you know, it's really this idea of, you know, if we've been through enough things in our life where we're going through some type of crisis, right? Loss of a loved one, major illness, some kind of injury, breakups, traumas, you know, abuse, something that shifted our world, you know, that just really shook it on its axis. The amazing thing is as you continue to age and get older, each time these things happen, they add to our certainty of the fact that we can survive things and move past them. And that every time these kind of like little deaths within our life happen, they actually are just a part of this cycle of death and rebirth, or, you know, changes, endings, beginnings, right? And this card is telling you that there's something either currently happening or about to happen in your life that is going to create one of these massive shifts. And it may be something that you choose, right? Choosing to move, leaving a job, you know, ending relationships, whatever it is. Or it may be something that is externally happens that feels like it's out of your control, right? But no matter what, that there is an ending that's coming and a beginning that's coming after that. Something new is coming after that for you. And it's encouraging you to grab on to the new thing that's coming, to really move forward without hesitance. And because you have been through enough in your life, you have that inner knowing that you can survive things, you know, that you get to the other side, that with those deaths comes something new. that knowing, that kind of like grace that your life has given you to have survived things, that's what helps you move forward through this next transition with that grace, with this embrace of what comes next. And so that's what this card is about for you, honey. There's something coming. Again, I don't know if it's a choice that you're about to make or something that's about to be or already changing in your life. But it's time to don't hold back and be afraid. You have been through enough. Tap into that inner knowing of your ability to survive and thrive on the other side, and that it's opening up space, just like a wildfire opens up space for new trees and new flowers and new things to come. This change in your life is going to do exactly that, sweetie. So I can't wait to see what happens. We'll be in touch.
And have some champagne.
Champagne! Champagne.
Okay.
Oh, our sweet, amazing Tonya.
I know. Okay.
We'll have to come down and see you at your place.
Tonya, we will. Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Tonya.
We're gonna do one final card and then we'll do a group clearing. Okay. Dan's been with this beginning, and I just want to give him his card because he's been.
And again, anybody else who we didn't get to, if you are interested in taking advantage of our super crazy cheap $35 reading,
one card reading,
single card reading,
email,
but
Facebook
we give
message.
you a lot. Trust me. For those of you who have taken advantage of our specials, we can tell you we give a lot for what we give. It is #April Flowers.
Yeah,
April Flowers.
And we'll private message you and we'll go from there.
It'll be super simple, super easy, amazing. The revelations that can come from short sessions. Wow, that's beautiful.
Okay, Dan.
Okay.
Thanks, Jane.
#April Flowers.
That's true. And this is the thing. The reason that we do a final card and clearing for the group is that as a group, we create an energy, right? So we've had so many people come on and be like, oh my God, you didn't get to me, but that card spoke so much to me. So if you're in this container, if you stay in this container that we create, that we give permission to be in this container together, then there will be a message for you, okay? Here we go, my friend. Our new friend, Dan. I don't think we've ever had you on. Look at this powerful card, my friend.
Beautiful.
Celestial Rose of Ma. So his question is, should he move back to the United States?
Oh.
Wow. This Celestial Rose of Ma is really, literally like coming up in between. So I'm kind of trying to describe these cards because they're very kind of challenging to see. Almost like out of a cavern, like an abyss or something like that. This light kind of guiding, and it's that bridge, right? For me, I always look at these things as bridges, right? So what is your bridge? Should I stay? Should I go? Can I come back to the US and things like that? And what is that bridge? Will that bridge be love? And what else are we getting?
Just give me 1 second.
And another question is, moves are very interesting. We were talking the other day. I'm like, we should move to New Zealand. I get asked all the time, would you live in any other place? We live in a region of the United States, which is very expensive to live in. Our cost of living is very high.
It's really high.
But why do we stay here? Because we've made certain decisions to be near the ocean, to do certain things. We're able to provide for ourselves. But the question of leaving, going, I'm an immigrant. I was born in Mexico City, and moving in between places and spaces and that idea of what home is. I think, again, there's a greater question, like there was for Jacqueline, is why do you want to come back? What is that yearning? Are you ready to come back? Has the healing, happened already? And where are you in that stage of life? And are you ready for what is going on right now in the world? And is this the place that you're supposed to be planted to grow that next seed? So sometimes there's more stories underneath of it, of if I move, will I be provided for? Will I be protected? Will I have to suffer? Will it be easy? Will I finally get the notoriety that I need, that some of myself needs? And there's nothing bad with that. So I think there's deeper questions here, Dan, to ask yourself about what this move is. It's not just a physical move. There's a lot going on right now in your life. And I think it's just making sure that you're paying attention to those small things, and those small aches in your body, or those small little kind of twinges in your heart. Are you listening to those? Anything else, my friend?
Yeah, you know, the message that I'm getting from this card for
Ooh,
you
you
is
grew up in Marin.
well,
We're in Marin, man. If you come back, come visit us.
holla. Dan, I'm like, what high school did you graduate
I
from?
know.
And what year? Put that in the comments. So what I am getting from this card is that you need to, at risk of sounding super cliche, you need to follow your bliss. So if you're thinking about moving back to the United States, are you thinking big enough right now? You know, are you asking yourself the question of where do I really want to live in the world? Are you asking yourself a binary question, should I move or should I not move? And you need to be asking yourself the biggest questions that you can and following the biggest, most exciting, delicious, blissful answer to those questions. You know, sometimes we make the questions that we ask ourselves very small, which is helpful to move forward. Sometimes we need to break it down a little bit because sometimes the big questions are like, too overwhelming. But right now,
the popsicle.
oh, okay, which one are you gonna get?
I know.
Surprise popsicles. But right now, would you bring a little cup too?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You need to ask yourself the big questions, which to me is like incredibly exciting, you know, when the world is really wide open to you. And I think part of the incredible thing that mindset can do, and when we shift our perspectives and when we expose ourselves to different things, is that the world can be open to us, right? You know, we can make choices still, like if we want to feel safer, if we want to not live in poverty, if we're moving to a place that's really expensive, all these different things. But the world is very, you know, open in many ways. Obviously, a lot of this depends on a lot of factors around your resources, but so much of it is in our heads. So much of it is in our heads. We put a lot of it on the external resources that does not belong there. There is some that very much belongs there, but there is a lot going on up here, right? So it's time to ask yourself, where does your heart really want to go? You know, does your heart want you to move back to the United States? Is your heart telling you to move to a totally different country? Is your heart telling you to stay where you are? It's to really expand the question and then follow that heart, follow your joy, follow your bliss, follow your excitement. You have this incredibly short life, you know, that depending on what you believe, you may not get another chance at. Maybe you will, but maybe you won't remember this one. I don't know. But, you know, let's say that this is your only life and that you only have, I mean, you don't even really know how many hours left you have, how many minutes, days, years. And something I talk with people a lot about is if you want to be, oh, I knew you were going to bring that one.
That's the only one that would come.
Oh, if you want to be the protagonist in your own movie, what would you do? What would you do if you were in a movie where you wanted to be like the inspiring main character? What choice would you make? Where would your bravery and courage and heart take you? So I'm going to leave it at that unless there's anything else you want to add.
No, that's it.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks for sticking
Sending you
around.
love from West Marin. West Side.
From Bobo.
Bobo. Joe and I can't wait to come visit you. We're going to have to figure this out. Okay, so let's just do a clearing for the group. Again, thanks for everyone who's been on here, who's participated. Thank you for some people who helped us with the trolls today. Thank you. I feel like we have some good protectors out there. Thanks for watching our backs. Again, we are ending the hour. We do another one on Kairua, which is a great family group to join. It's New Zealand time.
It's focused around Maori culture.
Yeah.
But there's so many more people on there. It's an incredible group.
Yeah.
If you're interested, they, it's interesting. I'm like, should we promote it? I don't know. It's a huge group already.
but it's they're always asking people to join if people are interested in food, community, art. That's really kind of what they center around, and sharing that, and really and uplifting people. It's really about uplifting a community. So we're gonna do a final clearing. So we're gonna run a chakra clearing right now, and we'll do a quick card as Rose is enjoying her rosy pop.
Next Sunday,
Yes,
I think we should do ice cream chakra clearings only.
there you go.
How do you feel about
you heard
that?
it. I like it. Only ice cream chakra.
Next Sunday, we're only going to do ice cream chakra clearings,
There you
and
go.
you guys are going to like it. I have a feeling. Oh, you just picked the card you were like
I
looking at
know.
earlier.
Jonah, ride or die, Jonah. I know. Thank you. We always need a Viking.
Jonna,
A Viking,
I think.
Aztec, and a Celt walk into the bar. What happens?
Celt.
God, I
Celt is the basketball team.
Oh, there you go. So this is Celtic. So this is how an ice cream chakra clearing goes. We connect to the energy of the group. We run an ice cream flavor. Let's see what comes up, what the group needs.
Yeah, clear it out. Clear it out. Ooh, wait.
Sunday. Yona,
Perfect.
Moi. Jonah. She said it was Jonna, though. Okay, here we go. What I am getting for the group, right? We have 7 chakras. So let's see what chakra. The chakra that this group really needs is the heart chakra, right? That's your 4th chakra. The heart is traditionally in colors. It is both 2 green and kind of pink. And the heart here, we just need this. This is a time of love. This is a time of opening. This is a time of, we're finally coming to the spring where we can create new opportunities of love, and love is everything. Love is the most powerful vibration. Even it goes above hate, it goes above fear. And if we can rest in that love, that's where we can create from a new place. And the crazy kind of flavor that is coming in is chocolate or cacao, right? With little kind of like chocolate bits. So a lot of chocolate. Chocolate is a great, with a little rose, right? Is a great grounding. Cacao is a, and if you've never been to a cacao ceremony, come and meet me in Bolinas. We'll do a ceremony. It's really great.
We're going to be running some amazing daytime retreats pretty soon.
And what cacao does is cacao meets you with where you are. It is a mirror to who you are and where you are. And it asks you, do you like what you see? So this is asking your heart to open up. Are you, when you're asking these questions, should I move? Should I do this? Should I do this? Cacao saying, do you like what you see in your heart? Are you making decisions from your heart, right? From your heart. And also an added extra cacao nib to just add some crunchies. I mean, this is really about grounding into love, grounding into Mother Earth, who is our love, where we come from. We are all just carbon, right? We're all carbon. We are starlight. Are you grounding into that energy? And again, that rose, like all our rosy pops, to balance that, to open up that heart. So that is what a quick ice cream Sunday chakra clearing looks like.
God, it's so true.
And aho, yeah, chocolate egg day. And the last card for the group, again.
That's a beautiful one.
I was really excited. I saw this earlier and I pulled it.
So beautiful.
Look at that.
It
looks like one of my paintings.
Blessings of Al Hakim.
Look at that. This is for us, for your week, to carry you through your week.
Here's your quote from Rumi that goes along with the card, and then I'll give you a little bit of info, but we're not going to give you too much because we're going to leave you to interpret it yourself with your heart on that theme of heart. Sell your cleverness and buy bewilderment.
Oh my God, it's perfect. I said
cleverness is opinion, bewilderment is vision.
I love it. I'm going to have to quote him. I love it.
You may find yourself craving different company with different interests, or finding the world of opinions and debate rather less to your liking, and the worlds of creative expression more nurturing and nourishing to your essence. You will not necessarily have any idea how this change will come about, or what it will look like as you move away from this kind of connection to the world of debate, the world of cleverness, the world of arguing, intellect, right? That I'm going to convince you by arguing my point because my facts are right, and we're going to just debate all night, right? This card is encouraging you to move away from that, to connect to, I mean, it really is. It's about heart, right? The fire in your belly is a beautiful aspect of you. Just let it be the breath that swirls around and through the heart that ignites it, not the passing huffing and puffing of the impatient mind. For when the fire in the belly is fanned by the breath of the heart, you shall have peace and dynamic movement, restful stillness, and soul-inspired action all at once. You shall become one with the living, holy paradox, and the healing power of your love shall know no bounds. You know, I think that I don't want to talk too much because part of the magic of this card is, you know, there are times when you just have to let the words fall away, you know. We can talk and we can argue, we can debate, we can be smart. But sometimes, you know, our smarts, I think that we know that no matter how smart we are, there are times when we kind of long to live in that magical utopian place of love and heart and connection. No matter how convinced we are of our smarts, no matter how cynical, clever, you know, sarcastic, you know, too cool, right?
Too
the
cool
people
for
who
school,
we were
man.
talking about this the other day.
We were
going
So
into
today,
workshops,
actually.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, different thing.
Oh,
Hello.
I think we have a bee in here.
I think we do.
Hey, little bee.
Oh no, I think it's a fly.
No,
actually.
it's a bee.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a bee. Yep. Keep talking.
Okay.
I'm going to deal with this bee. Hey, little one.
I'm going to be too distracted if you're dealing with that right now. It's okay. Okay. We were talking about how sometimes, you know, people go to workshops and, well, Marita was talking about how she struggles with workshops because sometimes she really gets a lot from it, but sometimes she kind of like hangs back like, I don't think this is going to offer me anything. You know what I mean? And I can do the same thing. I can be really skeptical, and it really, it's like I'm skeptical and I'm holding back, and then eventually I kind of like surrender to it and I enjoy it. But what would it be like if instead of that, like, at the beginning, right, the like, yeah, whatever, you know, if instead you were able to get to that place of surrender so much quicker, right?
Yeah.
This is kind of like the utopian dream. For me, that is the utopia that I am both like terrified of and love, right? This idea of really, really, truly being able to surrender into this place of heart and love and openness from the start, not from like, oh, eventually getting convinced and getting worn down, or like getting past my own insecurities and defenses and fears of being judged and like I'm cooler than you, but I simultaneously feel like I'm less than you, right? So I'm just going to put that out into the universe. That is the card for you as the group, is to surrender to your heart so much faster.
Come with an empty cup, right? Come with an empty cup. If you come to a place,
an open heart,
and you know, with a full cup and a closed heart, it will overflow and you will have nothing to learn, right? So come with an empty cup.
People will see your closed heart.
Hey.
Some people will project, but some people won't.
So thanks for everyone for joining us again. Watch us next week. You can also join our group, Ice Cream Sunday with Nougats of Truth, where you can watch all of our shows and also comments and get a lot of the good vibes from all the past ones. Some of them are hilarious. We tend to be a little dorky. That's just it.
We're super goofy. And we've done some on the road too, which are kind of funny. We were in Sedona.
Oh yeah, and it started raining.
And
it was crazy.
This crazy like storm started, and we were like, you know. Anyway,
well, our Rosie Pop for today, just so you know, and stay tuned for Rosie Pops.
So
if you don't follow us or Path of Ish or Love by Design, or we really talk about Rosie Pops on my feed and some other feeds. Coming to you soon. This is Grapefruit and Rose.
Ruby Red Grapefruit.
Ruby Red Grapefruit and Rose.
It's so good.
It's so good. This is the best one I've ever had.
That flavor combination, it's just so like it's the perfect compliment, you know?
It's everything. It's beautiful.
Oh, okay. We're going to get these popsicles to you guys. It's going to happen.
Figuring it out. Send us good vibes so we can find.
Till then,
We got a lot of things that have to fall into place. So the one thing I'm working on this week is finding a place to make these. So send us good vibes that I can find a kitchen where we can make these. Okay.
brick by brick.
Brick by brick.
Till then, remember to live your life.
To the sweetest.
We will see you
Aho.
next week, and we'll see a few of you tonight on Kairua.
Hey, hey.
Bye.
You got it.
Enjoy your Easter, and yeah, say hi to some bunnies.
Mm-hmm.